dear viewers and listeners, I welcome you all to another episode of our weekly online chemistry class. In the previous episode, we discussed the various methods of determining electronegativity value of elements, starting with the work of Mulliken method, that of R.L. and Pauling electronegativity scale. I also told you that using the electronegativity difference between two atoms in a molecule, you can predict the nature of bond between them, be it ionic, polar covalent, or purely covalent. Today, we are going to look at another periodic property, which is atomic radius. And at the end of this class, you are expected to be able to define atomic radius. You are expected to be able to tell us the different types of atomic radius that we have and their definitions. And you are also expected to be able to understand how atomic radius varies both across the period and down the group of the periodic table. And what are some observations that you may likely observe or questions that you may likely come across when you are answering chemistry questions involving atomic radius or atomic size. The atomic radius or size of an atom is half of the distance between the nuclei of two atoms in a molecule. And this is divided into three. We have the metallic radius, as the name implies. Then we have the covalent radius. And we have the van der Waals radius. The van der Waals radius. The metallic radius is half of the distance between the nuclei of two metallic atoms in a metallic crystal. Don't forget that metallic crystals are usually solid in nature. So in a solid metallic crystal. So from the name metallic radius, it means the radius is the radius of metallic atoms. And another thing is that do not forget that metallic bond is the bond or force of attraction between the electrons outside the nucleus and the positively charged nucleus of a metal or metallic atom. The covalent radius, on the other hand, is half of the distance between the nuclei of two atoms that are bonded together with a single covalent bond in a covalent molecule. And those atoms, from the definition, single covalent bond, it means the atoms must be non-metals. While metallic radius is found in metals, covalent radius is found in non-metals. If you take, for instance, assuming this is a fluorine molecule, this molecule exists as fluorine-fluorine bond. There is a single covalent bond between the two fluorine atoms. And you expect the two fluorine atoms to have the same size because they are atoms of the same element. So if this is the first fluorine, we have 7 electrons in the thermal shell. Okay? 7. And this is the second fluorine, also with 7 electrons in the thermal shell. Both donating 1 electron to share to form this single covalent bond. So if this is the distance, the nucleus of this fluorine atom, and this is the nucleus of this fluorine atom, the distance between the two nuclei is what we refer to as internuclear distance. And that must be equal to the diameter of a particular atom. Because if you look at the distance from here to here is the diameter of this circle. And that will be equal to the distance from the nucleus of one atom to another. So half of that distance is what we call the covalent or atomic radius. So that means the atomic radius, in other words, is the distance between the nucleus of an atom and its valence electron or valence shell. The van der Waals radius is half of the distance between two non-identical and isolated atoms of the same element in a molecule of the same element. For instance, if you have hydrogen molecule, for instance, or hydrogen chloride, 1 mole of this molecule contains about 10 raised to power 23. 1 mole of this molecule, of this compound, contains 10 raised to power 23 molecules. And the bond that is holding those molecules together, we are coming to that, is van der Waals. So if this is a molecule, and this is another molecule of chlorine, joined together by van der Waals forces, If this is the nucleus of this hydrogen, and this is the nucleus of this hydrogen, the half of the distance between the nuclei of the two atoms, you can see they are isolated, they are not bonded together, but the molecules are, the atoms are atoms of the same element from the same molecule that are held together by weak force of attraction. So this distance, half of that distance is what we refer to as van der Waals radius. And the more compactly packed a molecule is, the stronger the van der Waals, or the higher the van der Waals radius. Now, how does the atomic radius vary both across the period and down the group? Across the period, there is increase in nuclear charge and there is increase in atomic number. Likewise, the electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron outside it increases. So in that case, the atom gets smaller in size because of stronger electrostatic force of attraction. So atomic radius tend to decrease generally across the period from left to right. So that means in any period of the periodic table, the group 1 element, which are the first member of any period, usually have the largest size and the highest atomic radius. While group 17 usually have the least atomic radius or the smaller size. And what's responsible for that? Nuclear charge and increases in electrostatic force of attraction. While down the group, atomic radius tends to increase. Why? Because there is increase in size of the atom. If you go down the group, there is increase in the number of shells. The principal quantum number of the element increases. If you look at group 1, where we have lithium 21, sodium 281, potassium 2881, rubidium 281881. Then we have cesium and so on and so forth. So you can see that as you go down the group, there is increase, more additional shells are being added to the atom, and that increases the distance between the nucleus, which is positively charged, and the valence electrons. As a result of that, the electrostatic force of attraction between them tends to be lower, and due to that, the size of the atoms increases as you go from top to bottom down the group. So you must take note of the fact that the group 1 elements have the largest size, because the electrons, the only shell they contain has only one electron, and that electron is more loosely away from the nucleus as compared to the other shells, or to the other atom. If you look at beryllium here and boron here, 2 shells but 2 valence electrons, 2 shells, 3 valence electrons. There is increase in nuclear charge. Electron is being added to the same shell, so the size of the atom tends to get smaller because of increase in the electrostatic force of attraction. So take note of that. And another thing I want you to take note of under atomic radius is that there's a difference between atomic radius and atomic volume. And usually atomic volume is not a direct measurement of the atomic size of an element. Students must get that clear. What we mean by atomic volume and what we mean by atomic size? The size of an atom is a function of its density. And what determines the density of an atom is the mass of the nucleus. And the nucleus of atoms consists of mainly protons and neutrons. Electrons are not involved. So as a result of that, the more dense the nucleus of an atom is, that means the higher the mass of that atom. And density is a function of mass. The higher the mass, the higher the density. So atomic radius of an atom tend to increase when there is more positively charged in the nucleus, considering the same number of electrons in the outermost shell. But the electrons which are found in the outermost, outside the nucleus, they occupy the largest percentage of the atomic size. So in that case, that means when we are talking about atomic volume, you have to make reference to the electrons in an atom, which occupy the much more space. So as a result of that, you cannot use atomic volume to measure directly what the atomic size of an atom is. So in lieu of this, as I've said earlier on, you should take note of the fact that these 3 types of atomic radius exist, and there is differences between them. Irrespective of the type, whether metallic, covalent, or van der Waals, all of them decrease across the period and increases down the group. And another thing you should take note of is that the atomic radius that is peculiar to metallic elements is what's referred to as metallic radius. while the ones peculiar to non-metals are called covalent radius, while van der Waals is found in molecules that are joined together by intermolecular force of attraction. And I said earlier on that the group 1 elements usually have the highest atomic radius. In terms of size, they are the biggest in any period of the periodic table, while group 17 or 18 have the least size. I believe you have also learned one or two things today. In our next episode, we are going to look at ionic radius, and we may also consider what happens to an atom after it has gained or lose electrons. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to share. Do not forget to like and comment. Thanks for watching. See you again some other time.